So, what's it like to drive? I still need to put the binnacle on the front end here, and I still need to give it a bloody good clean. So, we've been out and about. My initial observations are it's a 300 TDI and it has got a heavy throttle, and it's certainly got a distinctive 300 TDI thump. I'll tell you what, the air suspension is beautiful. Now we'll go around the estate here and we'll just find a couple of speed bumps. You're off throttle, it rides nicely. No rattles, no clonks. There's a squeak under the dashboard here somewhere. I'll figure that out. Right, okay, speed bump. No drama. Well, that was... I'm doing like 15 miles an hour. It just rides over them. Some lights on. Sniffly sniffed. Like it now, didn't see him coming. Right. 30-mile-an-hour road. ZF gearbox. It's the same. I believe it's the same as with the V8. Smooth as shit. Really is smooth as shit. Steering. Nice. Direct. This rattle down here, by the way, that's the keys. We've got a whole big bunch of keys here and they're all rattling against the dashboard. I've got a problem with the top tailgate, keeps popping open on the left hand side. I'm going to replace the catch on it. What we'll do is we'll do a quick around and about. I mean, the springs, air suspension on these things is lovely. It's just, there's something different about it. It doesn't feel like coil springs. Coil springs do that again, Richard. But the air springs just seem to smooth things out nicely. So I'm impressed with that. Can't get out of the driveway here, come on. Driving a Range Rover again. I'm back on the road. Now, around town, so like let's say south of 50, it performs quite nicely. Bearing in mind this is diesel. When you put your boat down, it's a bit... It's got lots of torque, so you can let go of the throttle and it just carries on going. ABS is so reassuring on these things. It really is. I don't know if you've ever driven one of these power brake Range Rovers before, but the pedal is solid. So you literally just have to rest your foot on it and it stops. The traction control and ABS lights are both behaving. The SRS light on this thing, the airbag light, is also missing, but I'm the coder to reset that. So that's going to stay as it is. Oh no, truck coming out now. He's a big one. Wonder where he's been. Car behind me, I don't think realised I was going to stop then. The old lady in a fucking Fiesta, I think she just shat herself. But I don't know how much room this truck needs. So I'll give him room. Going to be sensible, haven't you? Right, okie dokie now. This is a 40-mile-an-hour road, but... Right, so from 30... throttle down a little bit and let the engine catch up, same as you would do with the V8s. And they do, and it does. The ride though is just fucking brilliant. Back into a 30 zone again. Just the steering feels nice and solid. Everything feels like firm. I'm even getting used to the soft dash. I've not really had much experience with soft dash other than repairing them. I did think about buying one a few years ago, probably a decade ago. I just didn't like it. I preferred the hard dash, but I think I might have just been a bit fussy at that time, because it's not that bad. I do prefer the traditional Range Rover dashboard layout though, the hard dash layout. Right, what we'll do is go, because we're in Crestwood at the moment, we'll go and find a bit of road that's a bit quicker than this border, and I'll show you what I mean about the overall performance of the 300 TDI. Right, listen done. Home of Roald Dahl. The A413 now, which is a bit faster. 30. Go into another roundabout. So we gave it a quick squirt then. It does pick up. It picks up a lot quicker than other diesels I've driven. Certainly a lot quicker than my L200. But $40, $45, $50, $55. 60, and we drop down into the lockdown 5th speed, and after 30 seconds of driving like this, the suspension should drop by 2 centimetres. There it goes. Feel the nose dropping. 60 miles an hour. But once you get up it, it's actually pretty bloody smooth to drive. My only real concern, well, there isn't one. It's a really, really nice car to drive. But if I was to do this, I'd do this V8. But I can understand why you would want to go diesel. I can understand that entirely. The throttle is heavy. It's almost like there's two positions to the throttle. It's light up until, let's say, 1/3 throttle, and then it gets really stiff, and then it's light when your foot is in the floor. So it's like the cam has quite a long way to pull around on the throttle body. So that was full throttle. Takes off beautifully. so we'll see how the bumps transmits to the ride. Steering feels really good in this. And then I've replaced the dampers and steering joints, steering damper was shot, as were the shock absorbers on all four corners, absolutely shot. So you can see here this road undulates and there's quite a few potholes which I am avoiding. It does wiggle and wobble about. Now I can feel like more side to side movement than I would do on a coil sprung Range Rover. There you go, there's the potholes. There's a fucking great pothole on the side of the road here somewhere. So once you stab the throttle and you go past that halfway point, yeah, the throttle's right, but if you wanted to cruise and you were either side of that halfway point on the throttle pedal, I can understand that driving at all. So I am going to do a little bit of research and find out what it is that makes that throttle pedal feel so hard. But if you're not in a rush, and you shouldn't be, if you're not in a rush, it's a nice thing to drive around in this. I suspect that on a run or when towing, this is really going to come into its own. It's going to reliably deliver mid-30s MPG. Sorry, mid-30s, what the fuck are you talking about? Mid-20s MPG. And if you're being careful, you might get high 20s MPG. I don't know. I know that when I'm driving my V8 at 3.9, when I used to drive it, I was getting low 20s, so up to about 24 MPG on a run if I was being sensible, and that was on petrol. Traditional kind of noise. I like it. I do like it. It's got character. I could probably smoke around in this. I could. I do like it. It does actually put a good vibe for the Ghost Train project, because that's currently got 200 TDI. And the inclination was to keep it with 200 TDI, but to convert it to a long stick 5-speed LT77 gearbox rather than the LT95, and then sound deaden the fuck out of it. And I'm keener now, having driven this, to actually stay in that route, because it's perfectly usable vehicle. I mean, on a really bumpy road like this, you're not going to get around the fact that you're driving round in a 55-year-old designed car, even though it's only 29 years old, but the design is late 60s. You're not going to get around that. The air suspension definitely brings something to the party. Definitely. And also the additional comfort you get from these later run-out models, so the additional sound deadening, it adds to the comfort. Seats are very comfortable, I like them. Driving position is the best thing ever. I'm not sure there is a better driving position. These are fantastic to drive. I love them. Just going to get mine back on the bloody road again, aren't I? Right, let's head back to the unit. It's so we go to a 50 zone again. 40, 45, side of the road, 50, and then let go, and it just cruises. I'm using now the top third of the pedal just to maintain the 50. I expect if I just used the top third of the pedal all the time, it would have got to 50 eventually. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of a rev. Now this thing does rev very cleanly around to 4,500 RPM, which my Mitsubishi doesn't. my Mitsubishi gets to about 3,500 RPM and runs out of puff. And that's a Mitsubishi 2.5 litre diesel, turbo diesel. So the 300 TDI, to me, does feel nicer than that Mitsubishi unit. The L200 that doesn't run regularly. I need to take this on a really long motorway drive in order to feel whether it kind of, because my Mitsubishi will sit quite happily at 65 to 70 miles an hour and has a very light throttle on it. So it's easy to drive over long distances. I can understand this throttle is going to make your knee tired, your right knee tired, over a period of time. So I can understand why the customer was sort of suggesting let's go down the cruise control route. But, and it's a big but, the factory couldn't do it, and there's a good reason why I think it's going to be a tricky option to put in and make right. So if I was to identify some way of making the throttle feel lighter, we can investigate that as an alternative. I mean, at rest, it doesn't. I mean, nothing's wobbling in here, but you just got the diesel bop, rather than the Rover V8 bop. No, absolutely bell end. Yeah, I could get used to this. Very, very, very nice. I could really enjoy driving this. And I have really enjoyed driving it. Thank you, Dennis, for allowing me to. But obviously I wanted to shake it down and check things were working. I didn't know that the thermostat was dead, for instance, because even after that great big long run, we're right at the bottom end of the normal temperature setting, and the heater is just a whisper. Fuck off. The heater is just a whisper. I'm hands-free there. The heater is just a whisper of warmth rather than anything more meaningful. Come on, your side of the road, chap. People don't like using their side of the road round here, I tell you. I was dubious about the diesel with the automatic gearbox, but it does work really well. And it's effortless, and I can't see that this car would be any easier to drive with the manual gearbox than it is with the ZF 4-speed automatic. I think it works very nicely. Happy with it. Gearbox just suits the engine. I don't know if they must have done something within the ZF gearbox because it's smooth. I mean, this thing's only done 101,000 miles, whereas my car's done 230, and this feels a lot tighter than mine. A lot. But then mine's got bags of life left in it. Right. Back to you now. If the customer will come back. Binder's Yard. Steering's very smooth. Very smooth. Straight. Bumpity bump. Putty bump. Putty bump. Putty bump. Hello, Teds. going to put the kettle on. Kettle needs to go on. In the yard. Very nice indeed.